This guy just might be the last arcade stick I ever need. Hi, and welcome to April 2025 game pickups, including stuff from Midwest Gaming Classic 2025. It was a interesting time, and we'll get into that. First, though, I guess for the big pickups, we're going to start with some stuff that's not necessarily games, but game related. Um, and we're going to kind of address the big thing that I got, which was this TR Fight Stick Octopus. This thing is massive, and I'm super excited that I got it in. This was originally a Indiegogo Kickstarter, um, designed specifically for the Sega Dreamcast. As you can see up here, it's actually got an OLED screen that acts as the VMU, has a dedicated VMU button. There's also the home select, start, a turbo, a touch button that acts as the touchpad for your PS5, L3, R3, and of course you have your 8-button layout and Sanwa joysticks, which I think it's just a JLF. This is not a JLX, which I installed in my Sega Press, but that can easily be swappable. In fact, this thing is like nearly fully customizable. This is an aluminum casing, powder coated in the candy cab white, like you would see for your Astro Cities or Sega 90 Sega arcade cabinets. And this thing will play on about 20 different consoles. So everything from the Neo Geo to your Super Guns to your modern consoles. The only thing it doesn't work on is your PS Vita TV, which I did try. A lot of functionality with this thing. There are 3 inputs, so we have a USB-C, this would be for your Neo Geo, and then the RJ45 for your Dreamcast, Saturn, and older games. And then you have a couple toggle switches, which deactivate the touch buttons up here. And then on the back side has some nice little padding there, which keeps a good grip, very solid. It is kind of on the heavy side. I don't remember how many pounds exactly, but it's pretty nice. You can also change out the faceplates. It has a really nice scratch-proof, almost scratch-proof, glass covering on it. So this actually lifts off. You can replace the art underneath. This is actually a blacklight reactive too, which looks really cool under a black light. And the inside is beautiful. It's got braided wiring and everything, along with their custom TR PCB inside of it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Probably the last arcade stick I'll probably need until they come out with a new system. It is upgradable. They are currently actually working on a few bug fixes and some other things, so they will be continuing support for it. It also comes with this really nice braided USB-C cable that actually has the little octopus on it. It also came with this really nice, almost laminated, real thick instruction manual to tell you how to set it up for the various consoles of your choice. You can also see the little VMU guy down here. There's a little happy face. And it does act just like a VMU, so you can have like multiple storage and saves and everything for it, which is really neat. So super excited about that. At the current time, I mean, they are kind of pricey. Right now, they're going for about $450. They come in the white, a black. Now they have like a sapphire blue and a platinum color. All of them look really nice. Kind of jealous about the blue one. I would love a sapphire, but I really enjoy the candy cab look too. That's kind of what I was going for. I will eventually get some different art for it, start customizing it a little bit more, just to get it set up for some of my things that I do for like different shooter games and arcade ports and all that stuff. So, with that said, that's kind of my short review of the TR Octopus. Highly recommended if it's within your budget and you're looking for something that's going to last you for quite a while and across a bunch of generations of consoles to play those games. So now, on to Midwest Gaming Classic. So Matt and I this year went again. We went for one day, just for a Saturday. The place was overwhelming, much larger than last year, much more vendors than last year. Matt and I actually timed it. It took us nearly 6 hours to get through just the vending hall. We kind of felt like we had absolutely no time to go through the actual like game area with all the pinballs and everything. I think we were only in there for like an hour or so, which we're like, if this is going to be it next year, then maybe we should go for the rest of the weekend. Just so we have one day for vending and one day for playing pinball. But it was great. I didn't see any panels or anything. Most of the usual cast was there, like the Mortal Kombat cast. Tim Kritzgro, who does the NBA Jam and other various sports games, was there. A couple other people. Pat NES Punk was there. Um, Adam Korlick, of course, we hung out. I helped. I got called on stage with his panel. It was kind of fun. Did the whole at games thing. But yeah, it was a good time as always. We met up for dinner, went to a little speakeasy with Pico and Ryan and a bunch of other people. We were there, so it was a good time. I didn't take a whole lot of photos, so you'll probably have seen some already that I did take. It was a good time overall. Really enjoyed it. And with that said, I'll show you some of the games I did pick up because one of them is a Grell game of mine, but we'll get to that. So I did pick up Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory on the Sega Saturn. I know this isn't the greatest port of the game. It's kind of slow loading, not the best, but hey, I don't have any Fatal Fury games to speak of on the Saturn. So I grabbed that. Along with that, I also found a cheap copy of Sega Rally Championship Plus. And this is the version that we did get here in the US that's compatible with the online and the 3D pad. In fact, it's got like the X band and everything on the back side here. So it's online capable. More than likely, I can maybe finagle and get this online working somehow. Not that I really need to, especially with the Satiator. I can do all that. But it was a really good price for all this stuff. In fact, I want to say that what I paid for this was actually cheaper than I could get it on eBay. But I upgraded. I actually sold my old copy of Sega Rally, which was just the original 95 version, since I technically already have it on the Saturn for the US. This is a unique one, so I realized I was missing the hot new version of Mortal Kombat Gold. If you're not aware of what the hot new versions are on the Dreamcast games, it's mostly the Midway games. The hot new versions have patches and bug fixes and include the ability to use the VGA adapter, which the normal ones without the hot new do not have the capability of doing. So it's a variant I was missing. So I found it for a decent price. Not the best, but compared to some other places in the vending hall that were asking for it, I found about 3 copies of this. But something to watch for. I think I've said some of that in the past in my old Dreamcast videos to look for the hot new versions. And then continuing on my Virtua Fighter kick, I did find a copy of Virtua Fighter on 32X. Not a bad copy. The box is in very good shape. There is a little bit of wear and tear on there, but I'm fine with that. It was just for my own personal subset that I'm going for, I guess you could say. The whole Virtua Fighter stuff, especially with Revo coming up. I'm playing a lot of Revo online with the rollback with this arcade stick. Super fun. And then probably the biggest find that I got at Midwest Gaming Classic for a good deal, I actually left the sticker on it, is the Sega All-Stars variant of Ready to Rumble. And I got it for $25. Matt was even kind of shocked that I found that sitting there. I'm kind of mad at myself because if you're not aware, this is probably the priciest version in the Sega All-Stars subset for the Dreamcast. I think over $100 for this. In fact, last year I found a copy and I paid about $120 for it. Super expensive. And then I find this for $25. It is a little better shape than the current one I have anyway, so I may end up swapping this one out and selling the extra copy. So that was probably the best find at that convention. And the last game for Midwest Classic, which I'm thankful I finally found, I've been searching for this thing for nearly 7 years. And every time I found it in the past, but the last 3 years at Midwest Gaming Classic, I could not find it. Like, nobody had copies of it, or they had the one variant that I already had. So that is the Darkstalkers Night Warriors for the PlayStation, the jewel case version. This one, I don't know why it was so difficult for me to find the last couple of years at Midwest Gaming Classic, but I was searching for this, and the guy actually cut me a deal on it. I basically paid price charting price for this at a convention, so I was pretty happy with that. But now I can say I have both PS1 variant versions of Darkstalkers for my Darkstalkers collection. But yeah, it took a long time to chase after this, and the price just kept going up and up and up. And it's one of the reasons why I was searching for it for so long, because I was kind of like, it's really the last game I want for my Darkstalker game collection, and I can't find it. So, or I'm paying a ridiculous price for it. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. So that was Midwest Gaming Classic. Good time. Highly recommended if you are nearby or ever want to make a trip to a convention. Midwest Gaming Classic is definitely one of them that you should stop in at. Moving on to some game-related stuff, but not necessarily games. That'll be the soundtrack to Pirates in Hawaii from the Like a Dragon series. I really enjoyed this game. It was a blast to play. The music really caught me. So of course I had to pick up the soundtrack. This is a 4-disc soundtrack. So lots of stuff. But yeah, it was something that clicked with me, and I was like, I really want that soundtrack. So I tracked it down and had one imported. And then the wacky thing, being a Street Fighter fan, I had to get this, even though I know it's probably one of the worst series. And that's the Street Fighter, the animated series from Discotek. The complete series on Blu-ray. Finally released, got it for a good price. But yeah, so now I can say I pretty much have all of the Street Fighter animated series, except for Alpha 2. I don't think I actually have that one in my collection. I'll have to look for that. But yeah, it's the wacky stuff. All the memes and everything made from that. And the last non-game related thing is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie, came out, and I got the Shadow variant steelbook. There is a Sonic steelbook version, which I kind of passed on. I'd rather have Shadow on it. I really enjoyed this movie. Jim Carrey again stole the show. I wasn't a big fan of how they portrayed Gerald Robotnik in this, though, but I mean, it was still fun. Still a fun watch. I felt they brought it a little closer to the video games. Definitely, if you're a fan of Sonic Adventure 2, this would be right up your alley. All kinds of nods to that particular game. Worth seeing, at least, if you haven't already. On to the wackier things. So some Vita stuff. As I inch closer, I do not count this towards the 450 goal that I have. But I felt it was kind of unique. And you can't really tell too much, but this is a variant cover of MLB The Show 14. And what's special about this one is it's actually the Canadian cover. And I discovered that across the MLB The Show on both PS3 and the Vita, there are 3 covers between MLB 12, 13, 14, and I think 2 for 15. So they have the North American or US region, the Canadian region, and a Taiwanese region. So I found the Canadian one for 14 because I didn't have that. I do have the Canadian covers for 12 and the Taiwanese cover for 13. So I think I'm only missing the Canadian version of 15 or Taiwanese. I don't know. One of those I'm missing, but I might end up going for that little subset. I just thought it was unique. You can tell it was kind of the Canadian version because on the US version it doesn't have French on it, which this one does. So I thought that was kind of unique. And this one I am counting towards the 450. In fact, this is number 448. A unique one called High School of the Dead or Slaughter Mania 5. This was a trilogy series on the Vita of just slot machines. There was Black Lagoon was one, High School of the Dead, and then another one for an anime I can't remember off the top of my head. This was actually the least expensive of the 3, Black Lagoon being the second expensive, and then the anime I can't remember being the most expensive. But it's just basically a slot game that as you win, it shows clips from the anime series. So I just thought it was kind of unique, and it was one that I had been eyeing for a while. It finally came down a little bit in price, and I was willing to import it. So I grabbed it. I haven't tried it yet. I don't really know. I'm not much of one for playing slots. In fact, I just played my first slot not even a couple weeks ago. I'm not a gambling person at all. Which is kind of ironic that, if you're into card games, you're technically gambling. So yeah, I'm hypocritical, I guess, in some sense, but not your traditional gambling. Then, of course, limited run stuff. I had to grab this. This is Sea Smash, the VR compatible version, based off, or kind of a sequel to Cosmic Smash, which was on the Dreamcast. A kind of fun racquetball game in a 3D space. It came with a little slip cover as well, with just kind of the Dreamcast orange on it. This is officially by Sega as well. I don't remember the developers. Wolf and Wood? Rapid Eye Movement, maybe? One of them. But I really liked Cosmic Smash. It's really fun. It was on the Naomi arcade board as well. And unfortunately, Cosmic Smash was also a Japanese Dreamcast exclusive, which I did grab a copy of. It's probably been in one of my past videos, but super excited to actually get that. Then continuing with the limited run stuff, I also picked up Metal Slug Tactics. I love Metal Slug. I love tactic games, so perfect match, I guess. Did go with the Xbox version just because I love playing on Xbox more than I do my PlayStation at the moment. And then I also picked up a Switch game, and that's Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2. Have been interested in starting these little RPG games. This includes Cosmic Fantasy 2, or 3, 4, and 4 Van's Return, so I guess part 2 of Cosmic Fantasy 4. But yeah, I really need to start this series. I've been hearing some good things about it, so that would be fun. And then once more related to the Virtual Fighter subset, my copy of Virtua Fighter 2 from Limited Run came in. I was really hoping this would become a physical version. I really wish Sega would do a compilation of all the past Virtua Fighter games, because some of them really, they're not difficult to get, but at least if they were to upscale them like they did this, give them a little bit of love and shine, that would be perfect. We did get some Virtua Fighter 3 and Virtua Fighter 3 TB on Like a Dragon Pirates in Hawaii, which I guess is a really good reason to pick up that game, along with all the other games like Spike Out, and some of the other Model 3 games they included on there, like Daytona USA 2. But yeah, and then the last game I got, this was a very long time coming. So this is another Kickstarter, kind of a sequel that I got for another game, The Cursed Knight. This is The Cursed Legacy on the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. This is done by a homebrew studio. This is their own game. So this is kind of a platforming game in a sense. I think it's also on Steam as well. But I got the physical version with the cart. And it also came with all kinds of goodies. So they included some stickers from a homebrew factory. Some other little stickers. This little house with a heart. And Broke Studio. So those will go in my little sticker book that I've been building. It also came with a little coaster with Broke Studio. I believe the Cursed Knight also came with one of these too. There's also physical release, just a little pamphlet, it looks like, for their stores and everything. And then they also included, I haven't really opened this up, but there is a soundtrack to the game. Also looks like a poster and a little collector card, which I thought was kind of cool. A little game card thing, which I thought was neat, that included with those if you supported the Kickstarter. But yeah, this group I've been watching for a little bit. They seem fun, so I'm kind of excited to give that a try. And that is it for April. A lot of stuff to get through. I'm glad for the happy for those who stuck around this long. Some exciting stuff. I will be backing off for next month just because of everything from recovering from the convention and so forth, and putting some more time into playing around with this arcade stick. So, as always, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.